there, my name is Justina and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I share recipes on this channel. I also do some vlogging, some lifestyle content, but I really like to focus on sharing with you Polish recipes, so traditional Polish food, because I am currently living in Warsaw, Poland, and I am Polish. And I also like to share with you recipes of American food that my husband and I miss while living abroad. These recipes include goldfish, which we are making today. That's one of those staples that whenever I see them in North America, I'm like, oh, so good. It's also something that I know that kids eat very often, and I wanted to share this taste with my children as well. So I've been tweaking and working with this recipe for a while, and I feel like I've perfected it. We recently had a 4th of July barbecue, and that was one of the first things to go, was this massive heap amount of crackers that I made, and I wanted to share that with you. Everything that I did is also in the description box below. If you do enjoy this recipe, give this video a big thumbs up. If you do end up making these crackers, feel free to let me know on Instagram or in the comment section below, because I would love to see your version of these goldfish. So I started off the process just by grating some cheese. Before this, I did preheat the oven to about 350 degrees Fahrenheit, and I lined 2 baking sheets with parchment paper. Once I had about 3 cups, so that's about 8 ounces or 339 grams of sharp cheddar cheese grated, I added in more ingredients. In the food processor, I combined cheese, flour, paprika, onion powder, garlic powder, and salt. I'm going to put all the specifics down below in the description box below so that you can also just copy paste the recipe for yourself. I feel like if you like the flavor of garlic a little bit more, you can play around with the recipe. And because I later used unsalted butter, I added a little bit of extra salt to this recipe as well. I used about half a teaspoon, I would say, no, actually 1 teaspoon of salt. I just sort of didn't measure out the salt, so that's why I'm second guessing. But if you use salted butter, then just add less salt. I pulsed first the cheese with the flour and the different spices, and after I added the butter. The butter I cut up beforehand, and I pulsed it until it sort of formed these pea-sized balls. After that, I just added water, 1 tablespoon at a time. You will need about 1 to 2 tablespoons here until this dough came together and it formed a ball. Once my work surface was nice and clean, I put a little bit of flour on it and I turned the dough out onto this floured surface and formed it into a ball. I divided the dough in half and I was working with 1 section of dough at a time. I rolled the dough as thin as I could and I cut it, and it should be about a 1/4 inch thick. And I cut it into using a goldfish mold that I found online, but it was just absolutely too small. So I decided to change strategies and just cut out little circles and have goldfish cracker circles instead with the remaining dough. So I very carefully transferred the cutouts onto the prepared baking sheet. I spaced them about 1/2 inch apart. And the key for this to be true goldfish is I sprinkled it with flaky sea salt, and it just made it taste that much better. I baked it for about 15 to 16 minutes until they were golden. I let them cool completely, and we enjoyed them very, very quickly. We had a summer barbecue right after I baked them, so they were gone that very day. It's important to, like I said, let them cool completely before you eat them, and store them in an airtight container, and you can enjoy them for up to a week. And you can enjoy it in tomato soup as we do, or just by itself, and I guarantee you that it's one of the best crackers you'll ever have. So that's it, folks. I wanted to share, sort of end this video with showcasing you some of my crackers and some of these goldfish, but unfortunately they're all gone. Like I said, they were just eaten up like that. That's the way it goes sometimes. Again, if you use this recipe, please feel free to share it with me on Instagram or wherever you may be. If this is your first time on my channel, please feel free to subscribe. And as always, I hope you have an amazing day.